What's up, everybody? It's your favorite rest of the set's favorite nerd, and today we are going to look at Marvel Legends Avengers set, the rest of them anyway. Thor, Ironfist, Captain Marvel, and Scarlet Witch. And we'll start with Thor, because Thor has the most issues. So, head is on a ball joint. How do I know that? Because if you turn it too far, it will pop right off, because the sculpt of the head doesn't allow for a lot of articulation. You can get to about there, back to about there, 0 up, 0 down. So that's unfortunate. We do have some silver paint that looks like it's been washed, lightly washed. We got some spillover of the silver paint into the hair there. Then we have this back piece that's all sculpted. It looks relatively nice. I don't think anything's been done to it. More silver paint spillover. The eyes are actually pretty well done. Not perfect, but good enough. New sculpt here for the body, it seems. We got a ball joint for the abdomen, which I prefer over a ab crunch, so I'm okay with that. Nice sculpted detail in there, and it looks like it's been painted silver and washed. The lines here have been painted on his suit, and they look relatively clean. We do have some like unfinished pieces there on the silver, and it doesn't look like these were washed, but these were, which kind of throws off the look as well. The cape you can't take off, which I prefer. If you're going to have a plastic cape like this, I prefer that it can't be removed. I like it to be just on there. Nice sculpt, red, got plenty of wash in there. Actually, it's shading. It's a shading of a red, a darker red on top. Arms are on ball discs, as we've usually seen. Ratcheted in and out, but not up and down, just in and out, which is fine. It's an awful lot of flesh tone there. I would have liked if they hit this with a wash. Just would have made it look a little bit more interesting, brought out a lot of depth in the definition of the arms and so forth. But overall, it's well sculpted. The veins and everything are in there. That's pretty cool. The bracelet down here is all sculpted, and the little studs are all painted, which is nice. Wrist is on a hinge, or hinge rather, and swivel, and that's all sculpted nicely. Looking pretty good, I must say. The glove is painted on the hand, but it's relatively clean, so no real complaints there. Same on the other side. He does have this accessory, which I forgot to mention in the beginning. This is really done nicely. This is all sculpted in the wrap, and then you got this bit here, and then this hammer is, it looks like it's washed and dry brushed possibly, but either way, it's really well done. Got this floating soft piece of plastic here, which is fine, and then underneath we have ball disc hips, T-jointed, it looks like, but I could be wrong about that, but it looks like it. And all this like chainmail type thing down here, which is all sculpted and half painted silver and relatively clean, I must say. Actually, really clean. Well done. The knee is a little crazy because like the double joint is really just this piece, but it's not. From most angles, you're not gonna. It's not. I don't think it's gonna bother you, but you can get a funky, which is kind of like wonky and funky at the same time, angle, and then they can mess with you. And then we got this little bandage piece down here that's sculpted, which is nice. Painted but not sculpted down there. Feet are on a hinged swivel, no rocker, which is unfortunate. So, you're pretty much going to have them standing straight up, because otherwise you're going to run into trouble. My joint here on this knee, this leg is pretty much the same, is loose. So that's not good at all. Like the joint itself is loose, and see it's already like bowing in. It's like the plastic's too soft or something, maybe for all the weight. I'm not sure, but yeah, this one's got a lot of issues. He looks pretty good. Like if you have him just standing, you know, he'll be fine. But he does have his fair share of issues. But stands like a champ. You know, even with all the weight of the sculpt and then the cape in this leg that's, you know, weak, still stands just fine. All right, next on the list is the Scarlet Witch, and everybody's kind of been looking forward to this since the other one was so terrible. And I gotta say, she doesn't really disappoint. She comes with these two accessories. They can clip on to the wrist here. You can use this other one, but it's really just too loose. I mean, I guess you could clip it onto her foot, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why you would want to do that. Doesn't seem to work real well otherwise. The small clip works perfectly, and they're just this like semi-translucent pink plastic, but it's actually a pretty nice touch. I mean, it really does give that illusion of energy. So the head sculpt is pretty great. Nice eyes, lips, everything there looks nice. The only problem is that because of all this hair, which is nice and it's washed and everything, and it, you know, it looks very nice, she has limited articulation in the head, to say the least. You can't turn that way. You can't really look up. You can't really look down. All you can do is turn it to her left. Not even a quarter turn. And if you go too far, off it comes. So that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Shoulders are on ball discs. They are ratcheted in and out, not up and down. Painted arms for the gloves, but it's relatively clean. Swivel at the elbow. Swivel at the wrist, and a hinge as well. And it's these same hands. We've seen these hands before, but they look nice for her. It fits. Her chest piece here on top of, you know, holding her equipment is sculpted, and actually like the line in the material is sculpted in, so that's actually pretty nice. Her cape is perfect. It's a nice sculpt. It's a nice, you know, paint on it, you know, for this type of a figure. It's really, you know, one of her problems that we'll get to is that she can't stand, but that's the only complaint I have about the cape, is that I wish it was a little bit longer so you could use it to stabilize her in a standing position. Torso is just red plastic, but it is, you know, it's got a definition of muscle and so forth in there. We have T-jointed ball joints for hips, and it's pink. Now this is interesting. Pink plastic, red plastic, but this pink is painted on, and that is a pretty good match. Usually they don't match up very well, but that's a pretty good match. I got a little bit of smudge right there, and if you use the thigh swivel, you can see the red breaking through, but otherwise, that's pretty perfect. Knees are double jointed and look good, and then the foot is on a hinge and a rocker, so that's nice as well. And yeah, I don't have much to complain about regarding this figure. She gave me what I wanted for the most part. Like I said, if she doesn't stand very well, these high heels, you know, and lack of stands, really, you know, so you kind of gotta lean her up against her cape, and even that isn't perfect. All right, next up is Ironfist. Head is on a ball joint with a hinge for the neck, which is fine. The eyes are, they're not perfect, but they're not hateful. It seems like there shouldn't be this, I don't know if it's even picking that up, but it shouldn't be like this gold in between the actual eyeball and the black. But it's still pretty good. The symbol on his chest is done pretty much perfect. Got, I guess it's a gold plastic. Be gold. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna say that now. I'm not gonna be able to get the head off. No, I'm not gonna break it. So Yeah. Anyway, this thing here is soft plastic, but it doesn't articulate. So meh. And then we got a nice blue shading on the white, on the front and on the back. Not on the back of the legs, but on the front of the legs, which is fine. Got this belt here. I don't know. It's okay. Nothing really to it, I guess. Oh, ab crunch, and it's sculpted through, so that's pretty good. And we get, let's see, 2 forward, 1 back, so that's pretty nice. And we got a butterfly joint here for the chest, which looks pretty good given what it is, and then a ball disc for the shoulder, which is like a soft notched ratchet that swivels also. Swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbow. We've got these which are painted, and the lines are painted on them, and they're done really well also. Got a little smudge right there, but pretty good. And then hinged swivel for the hands, and same on the other side. This has like a line across the hand. It's like a mold thing, but it kind of looks like a vein. Do you know what I mean? So I'm actually okay with it. And he's got them on both sides, so I actually think that's like a like a happy accident. Waist swivel, wide jointed, soft ratcheted thighs, thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and ankle rocker and tilt. That's painted on there, but that's done pretty clean, and so is that. So not much to it. But it's very clean. Which is nice. Stands like a champ. So that's pretty cool. Accessory wise, he comes with a ton of stuff. We got 2 of these for both hands. These like kung fu bits. Not a lick of paint on them, but still pretty nice. And they're on the same hinge swivel. 2 different like tiger style hands, which is still nice, and you get 1 for each, and then 2 fists. So that's nice. I'm glad that Marvel's stepping into stuff like that. I think that'll work out nicely. And lastly, we have this lady here, and she's Captain Marvel. I always get her name confused, but she comes with this bit of business here, which just slides onto her fist. It's translucent, soft plastic for her little energy powers, as well as an alternate head that just pops off the ball joint and sits on if you like this. I like the hair on here. There's something kind of up with the eyes, and then the mouth seems to be doing a little bit of a duck face. It's not hateful, but I think I do prefer this, which is Storm's Mohawk, and then some more stuff there. Nicely paint, except for the lips got a little carried away, but the eyes and everything look nice. All this on her, like the star and the stripes and all that stuff, look nice. I got one problem back here where it got a little fudged up, but overall pretty nice. All the paint on her is pretty nicely done. These little yellow circles everywhere and so forth. But we'll get back to articulation. So shoulders are on a ball hinge, and elbows are on a hinge that swivels at the elbow and at the bicep, and then the wrists are on a swivel that hinges as well. Same on the other side. It's just painted gloves. They matched a little bit here, but not hateful by any stretch of the imagination. Diaphragm joint that's on a ball joint. Not much forward due to her equipment, but a fair amount back, which is nice. This soft piece of floating plastic here, which actually looks pretty good. And then we got these thighs. We've seen these before. This is like the Spider-Girl. I think used this body. Like I said, I'm not a Marvel Legends expert, but I know I've seen this before. I'm starting to actually pick some of it up, but I don't want to misspeak. So T-jointed ball joints, they only get you out to here. They get you forward plenty. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee, and ankle tilt and rocker, and she looks pretty good. So overall, a pretty good set. Thor's kind of a weak link. Machine Man's kind of a weak link, just because there's just not much to him. I remember the Toy Biz Marvel Legends fans, you know, they used to say, you know, ever since Hasbro got a hold of this, you know, it's just been downhill. But I got news for you. That isn't always the case. So anyway, I'm becoming kind of the Marvel Legends person. I'm happy I got in on the line, and I'm becoming somewhat of the Marvel Legends fan and learning a lot about it. I'm becoming a little bit of an expert, I think, and I think as a Marvel Legends fan, I have to say this Toy Biz one is better than the Hasbro one.
Why do you have to say that?
Because I'm a Marvel Legends fan.
So you think this one is better than the one you just got?
Yeah. But anyway, I like the direction that they're going. After seeing Toy Fair's show, I'm pretty sure, in my opinion anyway, that Marvel Legends stole the show of the reveals. Like, it really looks like they know what they're doing. They're focused. They know what angle they want to use. They know how they want to accomplish it, and they're going to do it. The lineup for 2015 in the Marvel Legends department is just insane. So I'm happy that I'm on board now, because it looks like we're getting a lot of good stuff. And these guys are no exception. Here's the nitty-gritty of it. If you don't want the Odin, Thor's father, which I completely understand, if you don't want him, pass on Thor if you already have one, pass on Ironfist if you already have one, update your Scarlet Witch, get the Captain Marvel, get the Machine Man if you know who he is or if you like him, get the Hawkeye, and update your Sentry. I can't really pick a bad one, you know what I mean? It comes down to there's really only one or two, like especially like Thor and Iron Fist, if you already have a better version or a version that you prefer, you know, and then it's like almost worth just picking them up just to finish the Build-A-Figure, right? So it's a tough call. It depends on how important Odin is to you. It depends on what your Marvel Legend collection is like. I definitely feel like Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel are the gems of the wave, and Scarlet Witch looks like she's going to be the hard one to find. So good luck to everybody, and I wish you the best. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.